It is the Thursday evening edition of Weather for Weather Geeks, Weather Weenies, Weather Enthusiasts. Hi everyone, it's Eric here with a fresh edition of this super in-depth video. We skipped this last night. I actually took last evening off since I helped Jess out in the morning hours with the severe weather. I pulled kind of a split shift yesterday. The severe weather's behind us though, and we're into a more wintry pattern, that is for sure. So let's talk a little bit about winter-type precipitation when snow falls here in Youngstown. Of course, January is our snowiest month, with December and February close behind. In fourth place, though, the month of March. We actually see a decent amount of snow, climatologically speaking, during the month of March, although this March, unless we get some sort of big storm that gives us all our snow at one time, I would anticipate another below-average month in terms of the snowfall this March. But about 17.4% of our historical annual snow falls during this month of March. A little checkup on this year compared to average and last winter. We are at 47.8 inches at the airport. Now, of course, many people have had much less than this, but this is the official number at the airport in Vienna. 47.8 average, 49.7 up through March 2nd. Through the second day of March last year, we'd had 33.7 inches worth of snow, most of that coming with a big storm in mid-February. The numbers today, we did pick up about a third of an inch of snow officially at the airport today. That high of 34 was a very early morning high. We actually spent most of the day in the upper 20s to around 30. The records today, 71 and 10 below zero. All right, as we get into March, of course, not only are the days getting longer, we typically see a little more sunshine overall in March as compared to the dead of winter. Our cloudiest months, December, January, and February, with November in fourth place, while the fifth cloudiest month is March. But you can see that there's a pretty big difference, a 7% difference between March and February. And, of course, this trend continues as we go into the springtime, less cloudy days. All right, when I recorded this evening at 7:43, not much going on out there, but we will be visited tonight by some snow showers and some flurries on a few occasions. We have a disturbance in the upper levels of the atmosphere rolling through, little weak trough of low pressure. This is going to kick off these occasional snow showers and flurries. A lot of the time, this will be no big deal. Some of the time, may get a little bit of a beefier snow shower that coats your car top and some surfaces. It's certainly going to be a cold night, so it will stick to untreated surfaces. As far as how much snow goes through tomorrow, with these snow showers visiting occasionally, most of our modeling is right around an inch as an average. I think that's pretty reasonable. It's going to be, it just depends on where you live. It's going to be one of those situations where this is kind of a lake-enhanced event almost. Widely scattered snow showers. Some places will get nothing almost, and some places might get an inch and a half or even 2 inches. Best chance for those higher amounts will be, of course, in the north with a little lake enhancement going on, particularly tomorrow morning and midday. That's the period, I think, tomorrow morning through the midday hours. I think you have the best chance of seeing the most numerous snow showers. Overall, accumulations across the region, not a big deal here. A few inches in the mountains, south central PA, down into West Virginia. You know, of course, a lot of higher terrain over here east of Pittsburgh. And in the primary snow belt of northeast Ohio, from around Cleveland over to Geauga, Lake County, maybe parts of Ashtabula, even Portage and Summit counties. Some places could get 2.5 inches. I think in our viewing area, an inch, again, will be a pretty good average. All right, so this little trough, that's the dashed black lines, moves away tomorrow night. The sky clears. It'll be a cold night tomorrow night. We'll wake up Saturday morning with temperatures in the mid-teens. So a cold start to the weekend. The day overall Saturday will be pretty chilly. We'll be hard-pressed to get above freezing on Saturday with a mixed bag of clouds and sunshine. Some high and mid-level clouds pushing in with a warm front approaching from the west, and the air behind this front is significantly milder. Not as warm as it was earlier this week, that's for sure, but it'll be a noticeable change. That milder air comes in for Sunday. I think Sunday turns out to be a nice day, partly sunny, upper 40s. That'll be a good day to walk the dog and get outdoors a little bit after a cold start to the weekend. So here's our weekend outlook. We're looking for a pretty good day on Sunday. Saturday, mix of sun and clouds, and only about 31 for our forecast. That is about 10 degrees below the average for the first Saturday in March. 10-day outlook looks like this. It looks kind of like the winter pattern overall, with a couple of cold days, but overall, that's the exception. The rule is mild weather. This next warming trend probably peaks before a cold front arrives on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not as warm as Tuesday, but still looks like mostly above the average. Of course, our averages are going up at this time of the year. But even with those rising average highs, we should see actual air temperatures quite a bit above that for the next maybe 10 days or so. In fact, here's hot off the presses the latest European model long-range outlook, broken down by 7-day increments. Here's the 7 to 14-day outlook. Looks like winter, cold in the northwest, warm elsewhere. Here's the 11 to 18-day, 14 to 21. And while New England could see some, significant cold shots on a couple of occasions, we're going to be on the periphery of that. I think this 14 to 21 day period, kind of 2 weeks from now, there will be some risks of a handful of cold days around here. Even though it might be centered in New England, we probably will see some colder days after this mild 7 or 8 day stretch starting Sunday. There probably will be some chill at times mid-March. European model then doesn't have much of a strong signal late in March and early on in April. The U.S. climate modeling here, again, blowtorch in the medium range, but then as we go towards mid-March, here's the 10 to 15-day outlook, and then as we go towards the kind of the third week, the 15 to 20-day outlook, I just showed you the European model in the same time period. It has a pretty cold signal in New England, closer to average here. The American version of the climate modeling kind of centers that cold a little farther to the west. So bottom line for you here, I do think that mid-March there will be a handful of pretty cold days, or at least chilly days, but until we get to that point, starting Sunday, we're in for probably a 7, 8, 10-day period of pretty warm weather. Here's the European model outlook as far as precipitation goes over the next month. Dry signal in the Plain States, wet Gulf Coast, Houston area, dry in the southeast, and it shows a somewhat unsettled signal across the Ohio Valley. Not a real strong signal, but overall precipitation over the next month could end up being a little above the average. So that's kind of a look at the medium and long-range crystal ball. Tomorrow evening on 21 News at 6 and 11, and here on Weather for Weather Geeks, I'll do my spring outlook. That'll cover March, April, and May. We'll talk about the planting season. We'll talk about frost and freeze, and all those hot topics that we get to when we head into the transitional season of spring. So look for that tomorrow evening. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks tonight. I'll see you tonight on 20.